Okay, welcome everyone. Okay, this video I am going to do a rundown of the Clash system in Rainy Day, what it is, what you can get out of it, how to get it, everything like that. So let's get into it. So what exactly is Clash? So let's go in and look at Clash. So this is the main menu for Cloud Clash, which is the full name. Everybody just calls it Clash. But the Clash Arena, which you can get to by clicking. Actually, I don't think you can do it from here. Yeah, teleport to Arena. So Clash teleport, you can do that with just /clash space TP. That gets to the arena. Now the arena is where where the dragon is summoned and fought. And also where the Clash ingredients that you get are farmed. So I'll go into those a bit further. What is the aim of Clash? Well, the aim of Clash is to forge Clash armor, to get scales to put into the armor, and to get armor bonuses by putting in a certain amount of scales for each armor piece. I'll go into those as well in more detail. So this menu here, we've got teleport to arena. Now Clash does different drops per environment. You have Earth, Underworld and Void. So Earth tier ingredients will make you an Earth tier armor piece. Underworld gives you an Underworld armor piece, and Void gives you a Void armor piece. There are three different things. You do get slightly more benefit as you go forward, but you can make any of the armor pieces, provided of course that you have them unlocked. You can only get Underworld when Underworld is unlocked, obviously. We have here the recipes, which I'll go through in a sec. Armor forging, that's where you actually put your scales into your armor, and also re-roll the armor bonuses. I'll go into that. Recycle is how you take your scales out of the armor and also recycle some scales that you don't need. This is a list of scales, and this is the list of bonuses. So there we go. Let's have a look at the recipes. So like I said, the main aim of Clash is to forge Clash armor. So if we have a look at these recipes here, we have battle base, fortified base, worker base and mystic base. And so let's have a look at worker, because you actually get a free worker helmet. So let's have a look. So for level 1, which is the Earth, a Clash helmet gets you +1 speed, or each of the items gives you +1 speed. And if you go into here, it shows you what exactly you need. Now you can see here, this says T for Cloud Clash. So you need 5 T4 items for a helmet in this specific, these specific types of items in this specific order. If we go back out and we have a look at Underworld, then you need the Underworld ingredients. And that gets you endurance +3 per piece. And then if you have a look at Void, then you get these Void ingredients, and that gets you vitality +3. So each of the armor sets gives you different bonuses. So we have battle base, gives you strength, critical strike and strength, and speed, critical strike and strength. The fortified base gives you armor, plus health, and plus critical strike. I've already been through the worker, and the mystic base gives you plus mysticism, plus intelligence, and then an extra intelligence and mysticism on top of those in void. So there we go. So they're the things. So they're the armor sets. Now let's go back. The other piece of the other recipe is the pyres. Now, when you to summon a dragon, you need a pyre, which you can make from here, which you can make like this, which is basically T2 wood and T2 flax, and that'll make you a pyre. And then you also need a summoning charge, which you can get from dungeon rewards. You can get from mission rewards, and you can also get from recycling scales. And having those will help you summon the dragon. Now, if we have a look at the resources, we're going to the resources. So a T1 resource, you get 9 of them, will get you a T2. A T2 resource, 9 of them will get you T3, and then 9 T3s will get you a T4. Which means that you need 729 T1s to get a T4. And as we saw before, you need at least 5 for the helmet and more for the other ones, T4 ingredients to get an armor piece. So that's a lot of farming. Now, the 5 different types of ingredients you can get, they all relate to the different types of grinds that you normally do. So we have mining, which is in this case iron, wood cutting, which is in this case is oak, fishing, which in this case is carp, crops, in this case is straw, and mobs, in this case is hide. So you can do all these from the Clash Arena. So let's do that. Let's go and have a look. So if I go into Clash TP, and so this is the Clash. Now this is specifically the Void Arena, because that's the environment that's unlocked at the moment. The Earth and Underworld arenas look different, and they also have different dragons, but you get the dragons themselves, you get the same scales, and although you do get increased chance of high level scales with the later environments. But in regards to farming, so let's have a look. So let's look at the wood cutting. So if we go here, we chop down a tree, and there we go. So you get some warped branches, which are T1. So you keep doing that to get lots of wood, so that you can craft them in a normal crafting bench into T2s, and then craft them into T3s, and then into T4s. Now you can also down here using the hoe, these are the crops here. So what's going on? I think I actually need, yeah, there we go. Okay, so chorus pods, they're the T1 crops in here. Now in regards to fishing, fishing is over here in the fishing area, and you do actually have to use a trident. So I've got a trident here. You just buy a trident from the shop, and when you throw it in the Clash Arena, it does automatically come back. But there we go, I did get a fish. So there's the Black Demon is the T1 fish. Now if we look for the mobs which are not around. Might have to go up into the mountains to try and find one. Somebody might be farming this late in the season, but here we go. Okay, Enderman. All right. So Enderman is the mob in Void. So if we try and kill one, hey, come on. And I did not get a drop. Okay. Try again. There we go. So Ender Dust. And then the final one is by mining. So we need to find a mine. So if I look around here, trying to find the mine entrance. I think it would be one up here. Here we go. No. All right, here's one over here, I think. What am I missing? Am I too far? Here we go. Yeah, here's mine. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we have diamonds here. So if I get my pickaxe, and there we go, diamond chunks. Now you can see here I'm getting quite a few. I'm getting 12 or 13 per hit. That's because I do actually have a set with Dungeoneer on it, with lots of Dungeoneer, which means I am getting extra drops. Usually you would only get 1 or 2. But there we go. So there is your 5 ingredients. So yeah, so you can come in here and do this this farming. Now wood and crop, it's not too bad because the wood is you can do lots of farming fairly quickly by doing the wood and the crops. And waiting for them to grow back or going to another tree and doing it. So you can get them fairly quickly. The mobs, not so much. You have to actually kill a mob and then go find another one and kill that one and then go find another one and so on. The fish aren't too bad, but again, you have to actually kill the fish individually and wait for them to come back. And if there's lots of other people doing it, then there's not too many fish. And ores, again, you have to go and find the ores. Ores aren't too bad because there's quite a few ores in each cave, and by the time you mine them all, then they will grow. They will come back, and you can mine them again. But it is a lot. You will need to get, like I said, 729 T1s for each T4, because you need T4s to make your armor. Now you can improve this. As I said, I have Dungeoneering. Well, I have Rainbow Scales, but I have Dungeoneering on my armor, which does help me get more drops. So let's have a look at the scales and see what different scales you can get, because as I said, Dungeoneering helps with your drops in Clash. It also helps with your drops in dungeon chests. But let's have a look. So Specialist, so increases special item drops. So if you have Specialist scales, then when you drop a special item, you get a chance to drop an additional special item. So it doesn't increase your chance of getting the drops. It increases the drops themselves, the number of drops themselves. So that's for specials, sort of like special lapis and special iron and so on that are needed for other recipes. Bossing gives you a chance to get increased drops from Clash and dungeon drops. So bossing is good to increase your scales. So the more bossing scales you get, then the more scales you get from killing the dragon. You also get the other drops from dungeons, but I'm specifically now talking about Clash. Enchanter, increase experience drops from blocks and mobs, so you get experience faster. Vitality reduces the ability cooldown for skills, so you have your skills which have a cooldown of 45 minutes, 30 minutes, or 15 minutes, depending on what level you have. Well, this will give you reduce that cooldown. Mining, so increases mining drops. Fishing increases fishing drops. Trainer increases pet XP, so that you increase your pet levels faster. Dungeoneer, as I said, increases drops from dungeons and Clash. Merchant gives you a bonus to increase the sell price of your items that you sell. Farming increases farming drops. Skilled increases your skilled XP. So if you're trying to get your skill points to get your skills and abilities unlocked, this increases your skill XP. Zoologist increases the chance to get more pet coins from the pet arena. Grinder increases skydust amounts. Woodcut increases woodcutting drops. Scholar improves your study knowledge, so instead of getting one study per one item harvested, you may get more. And then slaying increases slaying drops, so that your mob drops. Now there are 3 special scales. Rainbow scales will actually give you everything, each of those scales at max level. So a slaying scale can go from level 60 to 75. If you have a rainbow, you get 75 slaying, but you also get the max of everything else. And in fact, if you have a look at my armor here, these have not quite max. I didn't worry too much about it, but here I've got 8 rainbow scales on this, and as you can see here, I have quite a lot of bonuses. So let's go back into scales. So rainbow scales are good for a what would you call it, a generic set, a jack of all trades set. Okay. Black scales increases the maximum number of identical scales you can have in a single armor piece. So again, if I go and look at my thing here, so a boots, it says there scale slots are 7, so you could have 7 scales in there. You can only have a max identical of 4. So you can only put 4 of the same scale. So if you want bossing scales to increase your scale drops, you can only put 4 bossing scales in there. However, if you put a black scale in there, then that takes up a slot, but it increases both the max identical and the number of slots available. So if you put a black scale in, then you have 8 scale slots available with 5 max identical. So the max you can put in any one max number of black scales you can put in any one armor item is 3, and that will bring it up so that you can use, in this case, 7 of the same scale. So there we go. So that's what the black scales are, and then the white scales are simply just they double the maximum attribute points of regular scale. So a slaying scale here, max is 75. If you get a white slaying scale, then it's actually worth 150 instead of 75. So that doubles the maximum amount of the maximum level, and so obviously gives you a lot more bonus of that chance per level bonus. So essentially what you would want to do if you want to get like say a bossing, wherever that is, bossing, you want to get a bossing set, then what you want to do is you want to get to get your max bossing set, you would want to get white bossing scales, which are very rare, and you can get, say, for a with a feet piece, you get 4 of them. Then what you want to do is get 3 black scales to increase it so that you can put 3 more white scales in there, and then you end up with having 7 bossing scales, which gives you, instead of 7 times 30 normal max bossing scales, you get 7 times 60. Do that for the whole set and you'll have an absolutely huge amount of bossing levels. If you actually look down here, this is my bossing set, and I haven't bothered too much with it. I don't think I've got any white scales on here. These are just usually max level bossing scales, although not always, because I just didn't really bother too much in doing it. But yeah, so there we go. All right, so that is the Cloud Clash scales. So yep, okay. So how do you get more scales? Like I said, bossing gives you more scales, but there are other ways of doing it. What I will do is I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll come back and we'll talk about how to get more scales, because more scales you get, better scales you get, better your armor is going to be. So I'll be back after the break. Okay, back again, everyone. Sorry, I've actually completely forgotten where I was up to, so I am going to just take a guess. Okay, so we've gone through the scales and what types of scales you can get. But basically, one of the things you need to know is, how do you get more scales? Well, we talked about bossing. If you get bossing scales on your armor, then fighting the dragon will drop more scales. However, there is also an armor bonus that you have called Knight. Now let's just have a look at the bonuses. So we'll go into Clash and we'll have a look at piece bonuses. So when you put in the scales into your armor and you get up to the maximum identical scale number, so 4 out of 7 for the helmet, you get it automatically gives you between 1 and 3 piece bonuses depending on your intelligence level. Now I'll go into that later, but let's go through this. So if you get Alchemist, it increases dungeon potion durations. Black Dragon increases the chance of receiving a black scale from a dragon. Coin Hunt, receive a pet coin, increases chance. Collector, a chance to find larger and higher quality items. That is basically talking mainly about fruits from trees and fish as well. Dragon Slayer increases the damage dealt to dungeon and Cloud Clash bosses. Dust Collector increases the chance of earning Sky Dust. Heavy Hitter increases the chance of sweeping edge kills to drop items. So when you're using sweeping edge, you'll get more drops, more of a chance for those kills to drop items. Hooked, I'll talk about this soon. Finding Cloud Clash drops while fishing. Jackhammer provides a chance for adjacent blocks to be broken. So if you're mining and this procs, then the blocks either side of the thing you're mining will break. Knight increases the number of scales you receive from defeating a Cloud Clash boss. Now this is the one that I wanted to talk about, Knight. Let's keep going though. Learner provides a chance to find knowledge bundles while grinding. Knowledge bundles are basically just extra knowledge for that type of grind. Additional XP while breaking blocks. a chance for filler blocks to drop ores, chance of finding rare mob drops, and the increases the chance of receiving a white scale. So to get more scales, like I said, dungeoneering, bossing is great, but the other thing you can do is try and get night. There it is, night, as a piece bonus on your armor, and that will give you an extra scale. If you get 4 night bonuses, 1 on each armor, then you get extra 4 scales, which is better than 1, obviously. So yeah, so there we go. So basically, what you want to do is you want to try and get night on the armor that you're using to fight the dragon boss. Like I said, after typing Clash the first time, you get a, let's just check in missions. You get a free armor piece. So if we go and have a look down here, we get there. So this is in tutorial. If you type the command Clash, you get a worker base helmet, and you also get a dungeoneering scale. So you get that helmet. What you want to do, obviously, is get other armor pieces so that you can increase your set until you get like 4 sets of armor, have scales on them, and have the armor bonuses that you want. But that means you've got to get the Clash ingredients, the T4 Clash ingredients, to do that. So there are a few ways of doing this. One, fight the dragon. So get your armor, get your Clash armor piece, fight the dragon to get scales. You only get 1 or 2, but fight the dragon to get scales, and try and get dungeoneering scales. If you get dungeoneering scales, then you're and you put them on your armor, you'll get more drops from doing the mining. Go and do that until you are able to get your Clash ingredients up to T4, and then make another piece and continue on. So that's one way of doing it. So dungeoneering, forge the armor, get knight if you're lucky, and rinse and repeat. I don't know whether I've mentioned it, but if you can re-roll the armor bonus. So if you do get an armor bonus and you don't want it, you want something else, you can re-roll it. You get armor re-rolls from Stormbreaker costing Skydust, but you also get some free armor re-rolls from voting. But they are quite expensive. Okay. Now you can also get the Clash ingredients from dungeons. So if you have a dungeoneering set, that will help you get extra drops from dungeons. So you can also farm dungeons as well to try and get the Clash ingredients. You also get some T4 Clash ingredients from missions. So if we go and have a look at missions, I don't think they're under tutorial, but let's just check. So if I go here, no. So if we have a look at beginner missions, so if you do these beginner missions, you will get some rewards, and here's one here, max Clash resource. So gain a knowledge point in every meta, which is basically just fishing, mining, slaying, etc. You'll get a T4 Clash resource. And if we keep going, play rainy day for 1 hour, you'll get a T4 Clash resource. And I think there's some more. Let's go into the next level of missions. Clear a dungeon floor, a max Clash resource. Light a pyre using a summoning charge. Earn 100 total knowledge. find 5 special items. Yeah, so that was what, 4 or 5 clash resources. So that's another way of getting your first few T4 resources. If you don't get the ones you want, you can sell those resources in auction house or in or just directly to other people or via player shops, and then use the money to buy the ones that you need. So that's a good way of getting maybe the feet armor piece, because they're fairly cheap. I only need like four T4 items. So yeah, so there we go. Now let me just see where I'm up to. Right, so I mentioned hooked. So another way of getting clash ingredients is by fishing with the hooked bonus. So the hooked bonus gives you a chance of getting clash ingredients while fishing. One hooked bonus has a low chance. 4 hooked bonus has a higher chance. Not all the time, but you will get a few probably a few per hour, I would say. And if you're lucky, you'll actually get T4 directly rather than just getting a T1 or a T2. And so getting 2 or 3 T4s in an hour saves you from having to actually grind for that hour. I mean, I suppose you can consider an hour of fishing is still grinding as well, but it's a bit easier. So basically, you can get a hooked bonus on your armor, use that to get more T4s, use that to make more armor, get hooked again, and rinse and repeat. Now, a way to try and get the hooked bonus, this also applies to the night bonus as well. If you want to do that, is instead of trying to re-roll, what you can do is you can just use trash scales. So scales you don't want to use normally, low-level scales, and put them in your armor piece to get to the bonus. If you don't get the bonus that you want, recycle them, which gets rid of the bonus, and put more scales in, and just keep doing that until you do get the one you want. This is really only good for the very first pieces of armor, because you're not really worried too much about the scales that you've got in there, more about just getting your hooked bonuses, maybe also your night bonuses, but you really want to put bossing in those to get the night. So this is more just for hooked. Once you get your 4 hooked bonuses, then you get the you get the ingredients, and you can then make new armor pieces. So that's a way of doing it. Use recycle, get your hooked bonuses, and then you can make another armor set with fishing scales and try to get hooked bonuses on that using clash rerolls, things like that. So there we go. That's another way of doing it. Now, speaking of armor bonuses, when you actually put your scales into your armor, you have a chance of you get a piece bonus, but if you have your intelligence at level 5, so if you have 5 points of intelligence, then you have a 75% chance of getting 2 piece bonuses. So you want to get your intelligence up to at least level 5 fairly quickly, so that you actually get better, more piece bonuses when you're putting your scales in. Get them up to level 10 fairly quickly, then you get a chance of getting 3 piece bonuses, and so obviously then you've got much more chance of getting hooked or night than if you only got 1 piece bonus. So there we go. So try and get your intelligence up to at least level 5, preferably up to level 10 fairly quickly. So there we go. I think that is basically it. Now, I haven't spoken about getting more damage to the dragon. How do you do that? I'm not an expert at that. I'm not going to go into that. You need to speak to the people who do that. This is more about getting your clash armor, getting your scales, and how to get started in Clash. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it's all going a bit back and forth, but there is a lot of information about Clash that you need to know, and so hopefully this helped you, and you can now get started with your Clash experience. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.